Hello, welcome to another episode of It Gets Better, I Swear, the podcast about anything and everything. I am your host, Louis Beans. I'm here with Cleric Jenkins, aka
Yo.
Commander Farrell, aka Jimkins, aka
He's not Jimkins no more.
that. There you
How
go,
dare you.
aka now, not aka Jimkins.
Jimkins is like the Bruce Banner and the end of the whole TV show.
Walking that lonely road. Okay, all right. We got Merc with the mic in the house. Hold on. Oh, I see you. And we got Jastar Supreme. What's happening?
Shit! What
All
up?
right, in the building. But the reason why we hurried in our start is because I want to get Jenkins' perspective on a few things that happened. So just in case he has to go, let him go first. So I want to get into his Comic-Con, his NYCC 2017 experience. And, you know, he was telling me a story about Szechuan sauce that I don't understand because I'm not in that world. So, you know,
let's start it over again. So, yeah, this weekend was, and the last day is today, the 8th. It's probably over by now, but it was New York City Comic-Con for October. And had tickets for me and Japstar over there. We went yesterday. Part of our mission for the day was to go to the con, have some fun there, and then go on the mission for the Szechuan sauce. Kind of got cut down early on because of my time constraints, which I had to do. But pretty much, if you don't know about the Szechuan sauce thing, Rick and Morty. If you're a Rick and Morty fan, then you already know. But I'll just briefly go on. He had an episode in the first episode of season 3. There's a whole episode of just it wasn't even the whole episode. It's just mentioned in the episode about Szechuan sauce for the nuggets, and they referenced the 90s when it came out. When McDonald's had a run for it. So it became a super viral thing. You know what I mean? The fucking Szechuan sauce and how delicious it was. And I'm sure most people don't even remember what the fuck it tasted like. But it got so viral that there's a video that came out a couple of weeks later about the Dan Harmon and the other creators of Rick and Morty. They actually got some Szechuan sauce.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it was directly from McDonald's itself, but somehow they got their hands on it. And it was a video going on YouTube. You could probably find it of them eating it with the crew, right, and the writers and stuff like that. So.
Oh no, it was McDonald's. Like they sent a special box and everything.
Direct to them, right? To directly to the creators of Rick and Morty. So I guess flash forward to a couple of weeks ago where McDonald's announced, "Hey, we're bringing back the Szechuan sauce for one day only. One day only, October 7th, 2017." At 2 p.m. at select McDonald's here in the city, New York City. It's select throughout the city. It was a countrywide thing, by the way. It was all the way across the country, but select McDonald's all around the country. So in New York, there was the 40th and 7th Avenue McDonald's. There was one on 14th Street. There was one on 23rd. There was one on 42nd and 5th. There was one on 170th Street on the west side. There was like 6 in Manhattan, and the other rest were in the outer boroughs. So after our con experience, we just thought we'd try to go and see. Hey, maybe if we go now, who knows? But we knew, but we had to see it for ourselves. So that was about like 1:55. We walked there. By the time we walked there, it was about 2:00. And when we got there, which is the time the doors opened for the event, you see the line that turns a corner. It's the longest. It's longer than the lines we saw at Comic-Con. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we promptly said nope.
This is for nugget sauce, by the way. This isn't for a sandwich. This isn't for fries. This was for sauce.
This is for Szechuan sauce. You did have to purchase. You did have to purchase nuggets to get your sauce.
That's amazing.
Oh, you had to purchase the buttermilk chicken.
Yeah, it was a new buttermilk chicken. But
because that was what it was with.
The website to find out all this information was buttermilkcrisp.com. There was a website specifically for the whole event. So that was just.
Maybe if you treat Seamus nicely, he'll send you some. They send him a bunch of them.
Yeah,
really?
Pretty good.
Yeah, the WWE wrestler Seamus, he got a bunch because he's a huge Rick and Morty fan.
Okay.
They sent him the Szechuan sauce to him. So maybe if you're nice and you treat him nice, he'll send you some.
Hey, hold on. Let's petition for Seamus in season 4, Rick and Morty. Anyway, that'll be interesting. So anyway, jump back fast. Well, rewind back to the big con. So Saturday we got up early, went out and met a friend delivered an SNES Classics to him in a Tracer and Android, and then I swung over by Julio to pick him up to start our day. Started off the day kind of haphazardly, eating breakfast because neither one of us had eaten. And somebody was hungover. I'm not mentioning any names, Japstar.
I was a little hungover, just a little bit.
So, we walk up to the place, and there was a weird line. It was like, there's no way the line is all the way down the street. And then we find out that rightfully so, the event staff was guarded, made people stop at the corner so as that traffic can continue to flow. So the long line we were on was literally just across the street.
Oh, shit.
When the light changed, people would cross. When the light changed back, they stopped people from walking out into traffic. You know what I mean? So they couldn't hold up traffic, so that could continue to go, the flow the way it's supposed to be. So it was a line that moved just fine. Once we got across the street, it was literally just walk right in. And we were there relatively early, around 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But once you got there, you had your badge. You just walked the fuck in. You get your bag checked, put it through the scanner, walk through the metal detector, and that's it. You tap your badge on the little thing going in, and that's it. That's what gets you back to the story I was explaining to before we went live. So I was trying to figure out, because fast forwarding to after the Szechuan incident, I gave Jobstar my badge to let him go with his uncle back to the show. So when we were leaving, going to get the Szechuan salts, we walked past these dudes. You remember, Jobstar? The guys trying to buy the badges. Hey man, what's going on, guys? You know what I mean? You end of the day, you wanna sell that badge or not? And we're just trying to really ignore them because it's just nonsense. But I was saying to myself that the security with the badge, and you watch you read the emails, and you would think it's impossible to do anything with these badges. But the real thing they did was just the RFID and stuff like that, so you just couldn't counterfeit them. You couldn't just take a badge and somehow copy it or print it out at home and just walk in there with a fake badge with some code, because the RFID thing is a big thing. They have to be activated correctly, right?
Okay.
But that's what makes me say, it's like they make it, you couldn't do anything, because I generally thought, until I really thought about it, that I couldn't just hand someone my badge when I was done, because it would be a whole thing. But when you walk into the event, there's no check. If you have a bag, the only check is tapping the badge to the RFID thing on their tablets. If it was registered, it just goes green. It's like, okay, he's good, and you go in. It's not like they take your badge and then check your ID, or a picture of you or something shows up on the tablet.
It's not a picture ID, right?
It's not anything like that. Okay. It's just an RFID thing that had to be registered. It is connected to your email account, but that's it.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
So me giving the pass to somebody and them just putting it around their neck, walking in, all they're going to do is the same thing I did when they walk in. Tap it to the thing and walk in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no alarm going to go off. You're not the same person. It just doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's like, but the way they would have it, it's like, don't give out your pass to anybody. It's so secure to you. It's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. But no, here, take the pass. Someone else go have a good time who couldn't get in there. I'd rather give my pass to somebody, and instead of having them sell, buy an overly expensive pass from some dude on the street that may or may not work.
Yeah, true.
Right. And the only other catch to the badge is you need to deactivate it when you leave. Don't just walk out and don't touch it to deactivate it. We found out because we were passing the badge off a third time, apparently, chaps are right, to another friend. And if you don't touch it to deactivate it, it voids it when you try to come back in.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's when they check your ID. And they try to ask Nick for his ID. And
he was like,
humana, and that's it. Game over.
Right.
Police ran.
So that's why you that's why you got to deactivate when you walk out. Which, I mean, that makes sense. So like, you got to touch it when you come in, touch it when you go out. But besides that, that's it. You just need to know those rules. But anyway, back to the con. Con was fun. Like I said, we got there, except for this 30-minute wait at a Starbucks that we had to do, which was ridiculous inside the fucking.
Oh my god!
There's a bunch of them before you go to the con.
Yeah, we should have did that. Because man, oh man, man, oh man, just the line.
But the dude that was working the oven was working like a snail. Like, he was putting those things in the oven so slow.
He didn't want to be there. I wouldn't want to be there either. Working with all y'all assholes there. Fuck that. Fuck this. I quit.
Where the fuck's my latte?
Exactly.
Fuck you guys. I quit.
It was just ridiculous. Once we got through that and started walking around, it was just nice. You know, you go there to people watch and see. People are really like, cosplay culture is a thing, and it's amazing when people go hard into it. There was a dude who looked like an amazing Samuel Tully from fucking Game of Thrones. You know, like the fat kid. Yeah. If you don't know who we're talking about. It was just really well done. I saw a bunch of Pickle Ricks that were pretty great. There was one dude who had the laser and the fucking battery cartridges, which was just great. At the bottom of we saw a real Doc Brown, not the real Doc Brown, you know, not a Christopher Lloyd, but someone as Doc Brown instead of Rick from Rick and Morty. He was actually Doc Brown, which was great. Oh, wow. And of course, a bunch of Ricks came to take a picture with him. So that was pretty good. I saw a female Rick, which was great. And of course, you saw a Deadpool Rick.
Yes. Yeah.
So of course you had a Deadpool and Rick and Morty lend themselves to such cosplay because Deadpool being fourth wall breaking and multi-unit, he can do anything, and then Rick, the whole thing about Rick and Morty is just infinite universes, and all instances can exist and do exist. So of course there's an existence where Rick is Deadpool. Okay. So it was just a great cosplay to me. I was like, that's pretty good. Fucking Rick and Deadpool together. Yeah, it makes sense. There's these two dudes in a wheelchair as stormtroopers in suits. It's just pretty dope.
Really?
Yeah, they were like in full suits.
Like you mean straight up? Okay.
Business suits, and then they just had two stormtrooper. They had a stormtrooper helmet on each. They would just roll around and I was like, these guys are amazing. I did forget to take a picture of them. I should have got a picture of them.
Yeah, we saw them roll by mad times too.
But so my highlight of the event is I got to meet Marcus Williams, or Marcus the Visual on Instagram. If you follow him, he wrote in this comic book called The Tuskegee Heirs Artist. So I got a copy of the first volume and the second volume that just came out, and a couple of his artworks. Jay and Julio. We repost his stuff on Instagram all the time. He's doing the swap. He's doing the Swaptober stuff right now. So that's been really cool. So, we've been posting his art all the time. So I got a poster signed, 3 posters signed from him and both papers signed. It was really cool. They're black, and there's black characters in the comics that really stand out. It's really good to see, have good representation. But enough of my, soapbox. I'll kick it off. What I didn't get to talk to Chapstar about, which I'll let him take over, because he actually got to do something at the con. Tell me about that Monster Hunter World you got your hand on.
Ooh! Oh, shit. First of all, I didn't even mind the hour wait. I was just so waiting for this game. I didn't even care. It was just like, yo, if anybody tries to skip me, there's going to be a fight and a half, because I'm going to be really mad.
All right, so what was the setup? Was it like a solo booth, or did they put you in a situation with 4 people? Because I've heard about that.
Yeah, it was pretty much 4 stations with 4 seats.
Okay.
And you could all talk to each other. So I got paired up with 2 Japanese guys and this white kid. And my assumption is we're going to go on expert, because I'm not trying to fuck around. If I'm only going to do this once, I just want to fight the hardest monster there is. Mm-hmm. But they bitched out and went medium. I was like, all right. Really? Yeah, I was shocked.
Okay, so, all right. So first of all, what's easy and what monster is for what difficulty?
Right.
Well, they didn't get to show that. The way they set it up is you started from the base camp.
Oh, so you don't get to see the monster like the old demos?
No. Oh. You straight up start up there. So you go into the tent, you change your weapons, and then you walk out. And I'm so used to Monster Hunter where you see the loading screen going into the next area. Or I didn't know that we were at the camp already, because there was no real setup. It was just like, follow the green thing so you can find the monster. That's all they told us to do. It's like, all right, I'm looking around. I'm waiting for the area for us to load in for the mission. Like, I'm used to all of that stuff. No, you just start walking from the base camp. You just start walking, and the girl's telling you how to play. And you're just there's no loading. It's like they said, it's open world. You're literally walking.
You're used to the 3DS or PSP.
Yeah.
So there's a lack of buttons there. Like, how was the actual controls and stuff? Like, what button did what?
It was fine. Like, I thought I was gonna have an issue changing menus. No, like if let's say you're running, but you want to change items, you just have to hold the right bumper and use square and circle.
So they're making use of
those? Huh?
So they're making use of the extra buttons though?
Yes, they are. So it's not bad. Like I kind of got into it mid-fight. Like once I got into the monster and started fighting, it was very familiar. Holding the triggers is like using the triggers, like using the bumpers in the 3DS, the way they're controlled.
Okay.
And then like the top bumpers are like for whatever.
Does it still have the lock-on camera and stuff?
I didn't really get to play with it. I was kind of all over the place, excited. So I think from what I remember, I clicked R3 and you locked onto the monster.
Oh shit! Okay, all right. So wait, how does it look? Because this is the first one. This is the first one on a fucking.
This is true. This is true.
Beast of a system, like for anything, because it's going to be on PC too. So
true.
Like this is the
first thing I noticed.
It looks like it can look like holy shit. Does it look like holy shit?
It looked beautiful.
Okay.
It really did. Everything moved great. Nothing was skipping or nothing looked crazy.
Oh,
except for my cape. Except for my cape going through my switch axe before I switched into a great sword.
Clothing clipping. What are you gonna do?
That's a hard
one to get over.
God.
Yeah. That's whatever. That's whatever. But
that's the last changes they do anyway.
Yeah.
But like, did it stay the frame? Was the frame rate steady? Because that's the thing about Monster Hunter. So thus far.
Did it go to shit when you fought the monster?
Maybe.
No, it was fine. It was weird though, because like some of the terrain I kept slipping. Like the character kept doing the slipping motion. When you go down like quicksand, like in the 3DS.
Okay.
That was a little annoying, but it was probably because of the terrain of where I was at. So that's whatever. And the first thing I did notice was the pace is a little bit faster.
Really?
Not that it's like crazy scary. It's just, okay. It is a lot quicker. And then, it is funny to see my character taking a potion while walking.
Here's a question to ask about. Ask about the speed because that just sound like two things. That second part of the statement you just said sound like speed and animation, and the first thing you said seems like a difference between frame rate being
not frame rate. I just meant the animations and the way the character moves.
Okay, because I'm thinking about, is it running on 60 on console?
Should be.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's running on 60 frames.
But that's what I mean. That would explain the speed difference because it's not running on 60 on 3DS.
Yeah, I know. It's like on 30.
So everything.
Wait, but isn't the whole reason that it was on the new 3DS was it for it to run faster?
Nah, it went down. No, it went down between like 4 and Generation. 4 was 60.
4 was okay.
4 was 60, and like one of the weird things about Generations was it was 30.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, well, okay.
It still moved okay, but it was like kind of surprising that they brought it down.
All right, well, back to this game. I have to look at it myself.
I got you.
Yeah, I would have to look at it myself because the only thing I have comparable to this is, remember, I played the non-Capcom Monster
Hunter.
Hunter.
It's official. They actually endorsed that one.
Oh, they endorsed the one that's on PC? Yeah, Chinese bootleg. Yeah.
No.
You know the one I'm talking about.
They made it. Yeah, they made it.
And I played that one, and it was gorgeous. It was goddamn gorgeous when I said, like, I couldn't believe it. It's like it's essentially, I feel like we're getting that game now. Except, a little different because it's not an MMO. This is not an MMO.
Well, I've never played it, so.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
If it looks as pretty as, if that game looks anything as, and I've seen videos of the trailers, it looks as pretty as that game. I can't freaking wait.
But the thing
I'm even more excited.
The thing about the Chinese, the Asian version, that's what it was called, the Asian version game, because that wasn't Frontier.
Right.
That wasn't running on the old engine of like the old types of animations where they just kept stacking on and stacking on. Right. And it wasn't running on the I think it's the engine that they made from 3 on, where they started adding in water and verticality.
Right.
So it's even that game is still a different type of Monster Hunter.
Right.
So it wouldn't even play like this because it's kind of like the old model. Like it's closer to Frontier where it's no verticality. You're not jumping off your shit with the smooth animations because that was before that was even invented.
Right.
And that's why this one is like, it's weird, but I kind of, now he's telling me about Generations and I kind of like, now I understand why they would have made it 30 because that was the first one that started using that type of, where they is super heavily animated. You know what it looks like when you jump off a cliff in the old one, and then in the new one, like you get down and you know all that mocap and whatnot. So
right.
Like, all right, so this is like the best of both of those mashed together. It's just like, damn. All right.
It's gonna be great. Like once you start playing it, it's gonna feel familiar. Like it's not gonna feel weird. Once you get the hang of it, it'll take you no more than 5 minutes to be like, oh, I can play this.
Feels like Generations, like movement-wise.
Yeah.
Like the weight you have to your character and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So I understand what you mean now. Because, you know, the older game was kind of like you were just a floating weapon.
Yeah.
And you just hit stuff. It just, the thing about Monster Hunter was they perfected how good it feels to hit something.
Yeah.
Right. So have things bounce off.
You kind of didn't care back in the day. You were just a weapon, but it felt good to hit something. Now you have a character with a weapon. Yeah. So
and you feel the weight of the swing.
Right. Exactly. Still has that crazy upswing when you hit the 2 buttons.
Okay.
Those upswing motherfuckers.
I meant to ask you about that because there's more buttons. I was gonna ask, did they take that out of you having the doubling up on a button because you could have a separate button for upswing? But no, okay.
No, it's the same 2 buttons.
Same 2 buttons, okay.
And you hold the great sword, right?
Yeah, and you hold the 2 bumpers to block.
So did they let you get into any of the tutorial for the weapons themselves though? Because they have a bunch of new moves and stuff.
Nope.
So you just got in there
and
figured it out.
So, yeah. I just play, and I use a great sword mostly, so bless you. So that's, there's no it's not complex. It's not like the insect glaive where I got to figure out how to use it. Nah. I was like, let me just use the great sword.
Did you find out how to do the side charges and all the other different stuff? The bum rush they gave it and all that? Was it easy to find?
Nah, didn't even look for it. I just played how I usually play it.
Okay, gotcha.
Run in charge. We fought a Baroth.
Oh, you're talking about the big-headed, the mud one?
Yeah. That's the one we fought. That was the medium difficulty monster.
Okay, so it wasn't that big pink thing. All right.
No. I thought it was going to be the big pink thing, but it wasn't.
So did you get to encounter the territorial part where there's a area where there's a monster prowling already? And if you happen to get in there and they start a fight?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so you didn't get to see like Rathalos get pissed off or Diablo show up or something. Okay.
Nah, none of that. We just fought this one and that was it.
Okay.
That's when that comes out. It comes out in
January 26th.
So there's a lot of time still for them
save the date,
fix things and move things around. And whatnot.
Don't be surprised when it gets pushed back. I'm just saying.
How dare you?
Gotcha.
That's all. Listen, that's what this generation is. Sorry.
Surprisingly, though, I'm surprised they showed this much of the game already. So it looks like it's ready to go. They just doing the little fixes now.
Well, see, I don't.
Hey, listen.
Every other game
goes up.
Every other game, usually they'll have like a year in advance, and then they'll show you a little thing, and they'll keep showing you that little thing during the time. They keep showing more stuff little by little during the time it comes out.
Well, see, Capcom's a little bit different with that because they have event builds for the game, so they tried not to keep showing the same build. So I was gonna ask him, but I don't think they just flat out tell you. Was this called the NYCC build of the game?
No, it didn't specify anything like that.
Okay, because usually they have like event name, like there's a PAX build of a game.
Right.
Sometimes it's its own build where like they're further along than the first one. So maybe this one is closer to being done. But I don't even know.
But I would imagine this was probably the same thing as a Tokyo Game Show build.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
I don't know. So close.
I don't know what the hell this would be.
But we'll know better. Like I'll say it'll make its launch date if we like get a beta in like December. You know what I mean?
Fingers crossed.
I
I even asked the dude, and they were like, "Nah, they didn't say anything."
There's a chance it might not get a beta.
That's true too.
If the fact that they're doing it live and they're actually seeing the responses of the people, they may not do a beta.
Yeah, but they need to test that online though.
They are testing it online. They're playing online while they're there.
No, but you know what I mean. Like literally over.
I'm about to say that's not online. That's
no, I just mean like coast to coast stuff like that.
Yeah, but they might not put a beta out. If it's this far into it and whatnot, there's a big chance there's not going to be a beta.
I mean, I don't know.
If you don't hear nothing by November that there's going to be a beta, there's not going to be a beta.
Right. That would suck. Because I don't want this game to come out on fire. Because the netcode...
Agreed.
Because you all know, netcode basically makes an online game now. You can't fucking launch a game with shitty netcode.
It certainly does. I've been playing the beta for Battlefront. Like I said, you got until like I agree with him. Like if they say announce a beta in November, it'll probably be in December, which is what I think. Like a month before the game launches gives you enough time. You do a weekend or you do 2 weekends, and that's going to test your servers and tell you, all right, is this going to implode, explode? So, you know what I mean? The first time, recently that you knew that the guys for Dragon Ball Fighters, they did that test weekend and they found out that, all right, if everybody on Xbox gets on, we're going to catch on fire. So let's fix that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And they were able to, and it took them 2 days, but they did it. It took them a whole day, but they did it. So that's why I believe that it probably, I agree. I'm with Jay with the skepticism. It is pretty late for an announcement. Usually, they would have.
Or they would have
but see, Generations.
But they would have sold it with the game. You pre-order it, you may get the beta for free. But you'll get to test the beta, and Capcom does that shit a lot.
I know. That's why I'm so worried. That's why I'm worried. Well, even Marvel had one. Like, fuck.
Come on.
I mean, Generations was like a couple of months before the game came out, though.
But that's a different thing when you actually put something on a handheld than the main console.
And especially one that's the first of its kind for the most part. You know what I mean?
It's going to be on both.
Yeah, it's going to be on.
That's why I'm worried.
They're underestimating
this. They're underestimating that this is going to be on both systems at launch.
They don't think it's going to. Oh, you think the Capcom's doing the thing that they do, whereas like because of their thing with the past and Monster Hunter, they're thinking it's not as big as it actually is in the West. Yeah. And I agree with you there. That there is a big chance that the online may suffer when it first launches if they don't do a beta, because I agree, like they really don't think, like the West has been waiting for Monster Hunter proper, and that's what I'm calling it, Monster Hunter proper for a while now.
They've never done one on both systems at the same time. Never.
Right. So now this is, and even though PlayStation is winning, Microsoft still has an incredibly huge install base. Let's just say what it is.
If you just put it this way, they're used to selling 1 million, right? On a Nintendo console that nobody at first nobody wanted, because when 3 launched, nobody really wanted it on Nintendo, so people didn't get it. Then it went handheld this entire time, and it's a Nintendo handheld. Not the same amount of people that had PSPs had Nintendos, and then it just was like steadily dropping. Like they even said Double Cross was the worst selling one. Like, so they're gonna underestimate it. I just feel like, I'm scared.
Yeah,
that's all.
But it all depends on how they're gonna do things. Again, by November, if you don't hear nothing about a beta for December, then you ain't gonna get one.
Get your dumpsters ready.
Yeah, and also Luigi companies do it with the pre-order. You pre-order, you get code for the beta when it comes out, or they will let you know that there is going to be a beta that's coming out.
Yeah, but Capcom, like, they even did a free roam for Marvel. They even did a free roam for Marvel.
Look how bad Marvel.
No, but the online is the best part of the game. That's the whole thing.
That's the only thing.
No, but you come at it from the single player to like perspective, but like for a fighting game, it's probably like got like the second best netcode besides Killer Instinct.
But it's a lot. But again, I will say they should do a beta because how big the game is supposed to be and how they wanted to receive it, and also especially with Xbox not doing that great in Japan, this could be a selling point for Xbox in Japan if it runs better online.
I don't even get.
So I say by Thanksgiving, if we don't hear anything, nothing's coming out.
Yeah,
that's the latest I'm giving it.
I think you got a game show coming up or something like that. If you don't hear announcements in Japan about it, then you may not get a beta.
Yeah,
I won't be surprised there won't be one.
At this point,
they don't care and they're careless with it. They're like, "Hey,
it's late in the game." Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, anything else? What are we gonna do? Anything else that stood out to you this NYCC Jabstar?
It was crowded as fuck. Oh, it was so crowded.
I wanted to ask you about the ventilation situation. How was that?
No, I mean, air-wise, it was fine. Like, I was comfortable. It was just so many people, especially like when you go to Artist Alley.
Mm-hmm.
There was some parts I couldn't even get into. It was like, oh, I can't walk over there.
Gotcha.
It's like, it's a lot. Like, it's dangerous to get off the escalators.
Are they doing construction still on the fucking in the Java Center? I heard that was the big problem with it, is the fact that it wasn't the whole Java Center at this time.
Yeah. There was the bottom part. There was still like parts that were empty.
Yeah,
strange enough. Yeah.
Yeah, because it depends if you're going to meet people, going to like for the panels and shit. What I was told that you really had to plan it because honestly, you had to be outside of the fucking area in order to do it. Especially if you're a Walking Dead fan, if you were a lot of the big panels too, like Jay and Silent Bob and all that shit, were outside of the Java Center.
Yeah, I didn't get to go to any of those things.
Yeah, because you don't.
The Hammerstein Ballroom had some stuff too.
Like, so yeah, I'm sorry, I was so silent. Yes, you were absolutely correct, Jay. There was parts of the Java Center was under construction, so it was not the full facility, but you wouldn't notice it. Most of the show floor was there, so there was space, but there was places that, it was hard to notice that were sectioned off. But there was definitely places you couldn't get to as you did last time. And yes, so that means most of the panels for the show were off-site.
That was like that for 2 years though.
And so all the big things were happening at Madison Square Garden Theater and everywhere outside and around the event. Even walking up to the event, there was things going on. There was things going on. As we walked up to the event, there was this weird mermaid thing. We didn't know what that was about. Remember, Jeff Star was like, "Hey, it's a live mermaid in this thing." And we're like,
there was an ambulance and.
All right.
Nah, I'm kidding about the ambulance. There wasn't a mermaid belly up when we left.
Yeah. So but yeah, it was just a little weird, but it was still super packed as always. Funko booth, they had the usual big things were there. Oh, the weird thing we saw there. There's this giant, I guess Amazon paid all the money. This giant, I don't know if you saw the Tick from the Amazon series, but there's a character in it that has this giant stealth boat.
Okay.
So they had like the front end of the giant stealth boat, like to scale, like sitting in the middle of the show floor, and a big sign behind it that says the Tick. I was like, Jesus Christ. I hope it helps, because I hope people are watching that, because it's fantastic.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Cool, cool. It's a good show.
Watch the 6 episodes of the Tick show. It's really good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I didn't go this year. I probably won't go next year. I probably won't go the year after. But I got what I wanted from it, and that was it. I got my Dragon Zord.
Dude, the Dragon Zord was $180, right? Is that
the gold one? Yeah,
the gold one was $183.
Yep.
How much was the green one?
I got my Dragon Sword. My buddy gave me the price. I think he paid $25, $30.
They wanted $120 for the regular and $180 for the gold.
Yep, I got paid $25.
Crazy.
I got that, and that was the only thing I wanted from there. And my buddy was able to get it for me. Other than that, I have no interest.
You was able to play Dragon Ball Z Fighters too, but I didn't get a chance to get on that line.
Ooh, and apparently
and Pocket Fighter.
If anybody follows us on RedCycloneInc. Oh, the mobile game?
They had tablets there, like, so you could play it.
Not Pocket Fighter. What's the
Puzzle Fighter?
Puzzle Fighter.
Yes, because I want Pocket Fighter. That's what I want.
That's what you want. But
that's what I want.
That creepy art style though for the Puzzle Fighter, I can't get into it.
It's like the same thing they did for Marvel, right? It's like just weird off model. Just who they hired for this?
It looks like mobile game people, you know.
Yeah, we have that one company that
Netmarble or whatever.
So, that was the name of it. Okay.
Remember, Jeff, that we were trying to get through the aisles, and a dude who's just mad, shoving people like him. This big white dude trying to hold him back. This black dude. I'm trying to overhear what's going on because I thought they were just joking, but then I kept seeing him like get in front of the dude and hold him back, and then they bump into me. Like this, I guess the black dude was working there, or he was he had a booth or something. He's like, I don't like when people steal from me, man, and he's just going hard. He's like this big white.
And the black dude like, dude, this is $20. I was like, dude, it's $50. And the black dude's like, nah, it's $20, bro. Like, okay. And it looks like he's about to get carried out of there.
It was getting ridiculous. I was like, what's happening here?
I was waiting for them to stop fighting. That's all I was waiting for.
Oh shit! It was just hilarious. It was like, what's going on in here? Shenanigans. Complete shenanigans.
Oh man,
good cosplayers, but I wish there was this many good quality cosplayers at WinterCon because less people.
Maybe getting a new venue this year. I heard, right?
Yeah, the Meadowlands this year.
So
I'd rather go to that. This was way too big, way too many people.
Yeah. We're still gonna do WinterCon. We're happy. That's December 1st, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Well, I'm doing. You guys are welcome to join me the anime convention in November. Coming back to the Javits Center, which is great. Which was interesting because it looked like as we walked around, there wasn't too much anime stuff there at all. So I'm thinking they got the memo. It's like just
makes sense.
Save everything for the whole event that's dedicated towards. But you still had, your regulars. Crunchyroll was there. Viz Media booth was there because they're the big dogs and they're gonna go to both. Of
course.
So that was interesting to see too because you didn't have the whole. Unless I just missed it. Usually the 2 aisles they dedicate to anime when it was regular con when they first took it over, which was piss off.
Tell me about it. And you mentioning big dogs just reminds me. Japstar, I hope they do make that Roman Reigns anime. I really do.
Right? It's just him as Poochie the dog.
No. You haven't seen the anime intro that somebody made with Roman Reigns? Like it's a little old now, but it's a few months old. But that shit is gold, dude.
I have to go check it out.
I hope they make that.
I hope that. I love the anime intros thing because they do it all the time now. Like I saw the one for SpongeBob. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty.
They just a recent one I just saw came out for like Game of Thrones. If Game of Thrones was anime, it had interesting.
Really?
Check that out.
Oh, I saw the SpongeBob one. That was funny.
It's pretty ridiculous.
You did it.
Okay, that was the one. I was thinking it was one I did see that you didn't just mention. Yeah. What is so?
There's not a lot of big news for comic books in general, though. Like, none really, big is coming. Like, Wolverine's gonna live again, which we all saw that happening.
What?
Yeah. I was really more excited about, once Tristan told me that Monster Hunter was there, that was really the only reason I was going to Comic-Con this year for.
Okay.
Just to play that. That was, the main event for me.
Yeah, the rest of it, there was no big Marvel announcements. There probably were. They just weren't really big. And then there was DC announcements, which weren't that really big either. And usually you get a lot of the big news from there because most of those companies are based in New York. So they usually would show all their stuff there. And there was no big comic book buzz with Marvel or DC unless it had to do with the movies.
Yeah, it was a lot of everything else.
Yeah, the TV shows, The Runaways on Hulu, Cloak and Dagger on Freeform, things like that. I tried watching Inhumans and I can't get past the first episode. So it's a lot of.
I think you're not alone in that one,
dude. I keep falling asleep on the episode. Like I heard it gets better after the second one, but after the first episode, I can't pass it. I just I'll fall asleep or I just lose interest and I start doing other things.
Yeah, I'm hearing that's a thing, and I'm hearing there's bad wigs on the show too. Like there's some fucked up jabs.
Look at Medusa. Medusa's power is fucking hair, and it looks fucking terrible.
Oh man, some people have been waiting their entire lives to see a live action Medusa. Come on, man, they can't do it right.
Crystal and Lockjaw. At least you got Lockjaw.
Yeah, I have never heard anyone in my particular circle of people that love comic books state that what would really be good at Inhumans movie. Or Inhumans TV show. Never.
I gotta admit, Jay Dizzle. I gotta say the same thing.
Over New. What's funny? New Warriors over Inhumans.
You saw the thing? I think they're trying to push it hard. Remember, Japstar? We walked by the booth that had the big giant. I don't know the name of the dog.
Lockjaw.
Whatever. Oh,
Lockjaw.
Oh, it is Lockjaw. Yeah, they had the big old giant thing in one of him. Like he doesn't look mascot material. I don't know. But they were trying to push him. He's just a big, ugly, punch-faced dog.
Yeah. He's the Scooby-Doo. He's the Scooby-Doo. Honestly, a lot of people just watch Inhumans for Lockjaw, to be honest with you.
Well,
pretty much.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know the other characters in Inhumans, besides Black Bolt.
Wait a minute. I just realized that. That's super... So, I'm sorry. I just made a connection to another show that I love, and just realized that's probably what they were doing because they do homages all the time. The Lion in Steven Universe yells and creates portals.
Yeah. Oh, so he's supposed to be like Black Paul?
Well, doesn't the dog do that? Doesn't the dog?
Oh, the dog does the thing with his tuning fork or whatever.
He's a portal.
Yeah. He creates portals, and I just realized that's what the fucking Lion in Steven Universe does, and I'm pretty sure that's probably just a straight up homage to that little thing because they pull from everywhere, so it would make perfect sense that that's a pull from the Inhumans.
Is the lion ugly as shit?
No, the lion's it's cute and pink.
No, it's not the same, bro.
Okay, but he's gonna be ugly.
So can I say, going from not being at New York Comic Con for the past 2 or 3 years, and then coming back to it, I wouldn't go again.
Okay.
That's
it was just 2 packed. It was just 2 packed.
Yeah, it was a lot of people, and there weren't barely any deals. Like the deals I saw was the same I saw at WinterCon, 50% off of trades.
And they're not even trades. It's like they're
they're not. Books. It was a lot of Gen X and the stories nobody cared about. It was a lot of those books. I barely saw like Saga or some good shit. I saw Ex Machina.
We did, funny enough, just straight because I want to grab it while I just hit my head since you said Saga. We did somebody walk by as one of the characters for Saga, the spider, which was dope.
Really? Oh,
yeah, that chick. So that was pretty dope. We're like, we caught that immediately. It's like, hey, it's fucking Saga. I was like, yeah, dope. I would go again, but I would go again now specifically, now that I found out. I'll go again to do exactly what I did this time. And literally, instead of walking the show floor, I'm just going to go to the artist alley, save up a bunch of money, and go meet some of the people I like to follow and just get some shit signed. That's probably all I'd go to.
I feel like you could do that in a smaller con and probably a lot cheaper.
You're probably right. But then again...
Like, maybe we should just do special edition.
The thing is with that is, you say that, but this guy from Tuskegee Airs that I met, Marcus Williams, he's from, like, Atlanta. He's not coming for smaller cons. You know what I mean? Like, to get some of the big names, you're only going to get the big venues that can afford to host them. You know what I mean? So, like that's the only reason, like, to get to all of them, because a lot of them don't live around here. Not all of them are from New York and stuff like that. So the smaller cons may, like, I'll get the local people at the smaller cons. You know what I mean? People live in the area. No, I would. I could completely agree.
Yeah.
I'm sure people show up at Big Apple Con, like you said, like, Jason David Frank and other people like that and other big names show up to other smaller cons.
I'm mad.
But
I feel
like
get to see New Day. I'm mad.
New Day was there?
Yeah.
New Day had they actually wasn't at the con though. They were they did a thing.
I thought that's what that was.
They did a thing in IGN Studios in the city.
So they were in New York, but not in the con.
Not
in the
at the con because I didn't see them.
Actually, Xavier Woods was there Thursday with the New Day. They were running around the con on Thursday, but they did a big thing with IGN and the Marvel's Capcom thing. That was in New York City as well. But they were Xavier has pictures of that he was there with Kofi and Big E.
Nice. I didn't get to find people I were hoping to get to see, and because of my time constraints, I didn't go find them on Saturday. The best friends Matt and Wooly came to NYCC for the first time that I know that they've come, and they went to Barcade on Saturday in Brooklyn for a fan meetup, but I couldn't go because life. So like I really did want to meet them, and I didn't come across them on the show floor. I don't even know if they were on the show floor Saturday. I know they were walking around Friday, but if they were there Saturday as well, I just didn't. While we were walking around, I just didn't see them. So I really wanted to meet those dudes, but I didn't get a chance. Yeah. But like you said, like aside from going to Artist Alley, I don't think I'm gonna go to another big con like the NYCC. I can pass. Like I enjoy WinterCon, I enjoy the smaller cons. So yeah.
Ooh, and maybe the new venue for WinterCon has cheaper drinks.
Because the casino is ridiculous.
They all want to make it pay for shit.
But you're right. You're right. Because Meadowlands, what is that? At the Meadowlands Arena?
Yeah, it's the theater. It's like their convention hall.
So
yeah. It's like not the big theater, but yeah, it's the same thing. It's a big arena.
Yeah, still overcharge you for everything.
Exactly.
Sadly, it's slightly easier to get to than fucking than the ones
Resort World, yeah. Because it's just a bus ride straight from 42nd Street, right?
Yeah, or a train ride.
Or a train ride, right. Do you take the path?
No, there's a train from Penn Station there. It goes like directly to in front of Meadowlands Arena.
Jumping off on the tangent, unless somebody else wants to still go for a second. I played some Star Wars Battlefront 2 today, the beta.
How was that?
I haven't tried it yet.
Why aren't all games as pretty as they make these fucking games? But I guess they have to
money,
be.
Baby.
I was gonna say, I guess it has to be like you feel like you're in fucking Star Wars. Like it looks fucking gorgeous. Like I guess when you slap Lucasfilm Ltd logo on it, and you giving all that big money, that Disney money. You get a game that looks like that game does, and Jesus Christ, is it gorgeous on the eyes.
I know the last game is probably about just as good looking as this one, but like I know for a fact that they work with like Lucas to get everything like pitch perfect.
Listen, when you start the beta up, John Boyega himself explains everything to you.
Oh, like in the trailer?
Oh shit!
In the fucking when the game loads up. He goes to you, he tells you everything. This is what this game is. This is how big it is compared to the first game. These are the missions. These are the maps. This is what's available in this beta. All right, in this beta, this is what you get to do. This is the local. He explains everything. It's not just a throwaway, hey, welcome to Star Wars. This is a cool trailer. All right, and then some other guy comes on and tells you everything. Motherfucker, he does it himself. So you know that's
that's
money.
Great. That's great.
You know why they had to do that? Because the first one was half a game.
It was. This one is like...
Yeah, it didn't even turn into... After the DLC, it was supposed to turn into like a big story thing. It really didn't.
It was half a fucking game, and that's the reason why they really like... You're going to get this
one they're pushing.
We're going to give you this. We're going to give you that. We're going to give you this. Because we want to buy it because we fucked up the first time. Sorry. We love you.
Yeah, well, like I said, it is a full game. Like, it's straight up... You know, it's going to have a full campaign. Everything is bigger. The multiplayer is huge. Like, if you want to play that game just to freaking it's worth it just to do the fucking dog fighting in space.
How long the beta goes for? Or it's finished already?
Actually, no, it's still going on. I don't think it's a weekend deal. I think it's up for a little while. I'm not 100%. I'll have to find out. But I was playing some of it today just in case it ends today. Yeah. I don't know if it does or not. But I was playing with a couple of friends who were online already on it. I had downloaded it yesterday when I got home, but didn't play it. But yeah, it's you know, for the most part, SPS. The part I played was the siege mode, and you know, you play either as the droids or you play as some stormtroopers, and it's mission-based objectives to get to the next point. You know, and yeah, it just feels good to play.
Download it.
Oh, there's still did that mode have the hero characters or no?
Yeah, exactly. If you get enough points, then you can select like Darth Maul if you're on the droids, or if you're on the hero, you can select what's her name? What's the
Rey?
Rey? Thank you so much. Yeah, you can do Rey. You can pick Han, and I think it's one other person. You can get like a Wookiee warrior, not Chewbacca.
Wait.
You can get
Question.
a Wookiee warrior. Yes, sir.
This Darth Maul, was it Darth Maul from the old thing, or was it like did they give him cybernetic legs, like insinuating that he's alive?
No, he's Darth Maul from.
Okay. Gotcha. Because wasn't that a thing in Dark Horse that he was actually alive?
Well, that's the thing they did in the animated series, the Star Wars: The Clone Wars. He came back and had these like 4 robotic legs, or was some nonsense.
Okay. All right.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Oh
Nonsense.
no. Oh, I forgot they weren't just 2 legs. Got you. Yeah. It wasn't as cool as I was remembering. Oh, man.
All right. Well, my question: how was the gameplay?
Gameplay was great. It's like I said, the part I was playing, FPS. You get to choose between an assault character because it's class-based. Assault character, a heavy, an officer, or specialist. Specialist like the sniper.
If you play Battlefront, Battlefield, any of those Battlefield games, they have the same exact classes.
It's like they translate kind of to a real world equivalent, is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the way it plays out is good.
Okay.
The way the blasters work, is a charging cartridge. You pretty much you drop out a battery, throw another one in there, because it's a laser gun. So
gotcha.
It was very interesting how that works. It just all works very well.
I find it funny that now people are finding a way to inject some type of limit on laser weapons, whereas before nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, like it has a they heat up and they have to cool down before you can even do anything. So you gotta manage that.
You know how typically Star Wars games, the realism did not extend to the guns. You just shot forever, basically. Yeah. So interesting to see that.
Now, right now, it's a good thing they're doing. I feel like they may have some balancing to do because I think the heavies are kind of overpowered because they have more health pool, and trying to take one of them motherfuckers down is a little tough. But then again, it depends on your skill level. I think a couple of headshots they drop, but it's hard because if they throw up a shield, they do have a higher health pool. If you get caught by anybody else.
Vehicles? Are the arenas big enough for the vehicles like the first one? I mean, the ones that let you play.
You have your pool, so you have a pool. You get you get like one of the things you can get is one of the flying droid bots if you get enough. If you're on the droid side, it's by appointment. So the better you are, you get a bunch of kills, then you earn a bunch of points, and then you get to select special things. So instead of being a droid walking in, you can now be one of the what do you call them? The special droids, the ones that stand up they shoot with the blasters out of their arm, the big heavy armored ones with the missiles.
Yeah.
Or you get more points, you can be like the fucking flying droids that come down to kind of walk on legs, and they fly. You know what I mean? As you get more points, then you can get vehicles and shit. So you can get a fucking tank and stuff like that.
Cool.
The game is great. If you get a chance, just download the beta. Give it a
all right.
Yeah, give it a go.
Is it an open beta?
Yeah, it's open beta. Yeah, I didn't pre-order nothing. It was just there and it said free. I was like, okay, download.
You was able to do it first.
Yeah,
do it first because of pre-order. I think it started last week, and you were able to do it last week with the.
Yeah, like the people who've been at it, and then this weekend it was like, hey, just everybody join, which is always a good way to do it. You get the limited buy-in, test out your servers, and be like, oh, we can handle this. Open it up to everybody.
I could have did it last week because I had the EA Access. EA Access was able to do it last week as well, and I was like, oh, I should try it, and I just downloaded it today. So
okay, cool.
It looks good and whatnot.
Looks. I do want to say.
That was one thing. The last game looked good. It just was half a game.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure EA pass it up with tons of DLC and stuff. I mean, good or bad, because that was kind of what some of the people were like. Oh, the last game it kind of got better if you got the DLC, but that's never a valid excuse, for shipping half a game. So,
right.
I'm glad this one is on a track to be way better than the first one.
No, it certainly is. It certainly is, and they're putting everything. They're hedging all their bets on it, and all the stuff they've been showing off. And they have the money for this to be a success. All they had to do was just do what you're supposed to do. Have the content there, and that's what people wanted. It's like they don't want to pick up the game and then in an hour and a half be like, all right, I'm just doing this over again. They want to have at least a full visceral experience, and it certainly looks like you're going to get that with this game. And the game's still played for people like me, because I just want to go and fly a fucking TIE fighter or a goddamn X-wing and go nuts.
Right.
Word. Gotcha. That was one of my favorite things was the dogfight. So hopefully that they worked that a little better this time around.
Okay.
But the handling in the last game was kind of awkward and annoying. So hopefully they can do it better this year, because that's one of my favorite things about Battlefront and Star Wars games in general was the dogfights. I love the fucking dogfights and shit.
Right, sure and the game feels balanced. So when you get something like a Jedi or Sith Lord, you are super powered, but you can get just wrecked. So
yeah,
they have a good balance on that, because you would think once one of those people appears, like, it's all over. What are you gonna do? It's like, no, you get the shots off on them. They can deflect, but they can't unlike the movie, they can't deflect from everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's pretty good. That
all right. Well, I want to wrap it up because we want to catch this Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, buddy.
Destiny's still fun. Goes RedCycloneInc plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Cuphead is hard and annoying.
Oh goddamn, is it? Isn't it though? But it's so pretty.
But
God damn it.
I've been recording on the capture card, so I want to edit and probably post everything up. I did perfect the bosses. I got the A+ on a lot of them, so I'll put that up.
So where are you gonna put that up? That's on Mark with the Mic on what? YouTube?
On YouTube. Okay. Yes, and then probably on Twitch as well.
And hopefully I'll beat a stage.
Nice.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Anybody else got anything to plug before we? No.
Check out the Wrestling Babble podcast we just did.
Oh yes, we did.
All right, check out the comp pictures on. Check out the comp pictures on the Facebook page and on Instagram and on Twitter. Just check out the RedCycloneInc Gaming. We got the comp pictures up there, so some fun times there.
It's RedCycloneInc.
Yep. Check us out at RedCycloneInc on everything. So
yeah,
that's it for this week.
On everything and everything. All right.
Laters.
Sandwiches.
Laters.